No questions asked. But because you have a team favorite, he's given a lot to the pro. He's a program guy. Oh, yeah, we love him. Now you got Jakai, who has to play guard because this other guy has been here for 8 years. A lot of this is what I'm talking about. Like I said in my soliloquy early on in the recording, there's a lot of little intricacies, little politics, little favoritism that happens in every program. It's not just at Miami, so I'm not saying that. It's a lot of that little crap that keeps happening and stays in a program. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to just kick young men to the side, pull his scholarship and fire that guy and F this dude. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if we want to fight against the seniority, and it's blatantly obvious that some other players are being moved because you want to see them on the field, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, dude, I've never thought of the center situation like that. And then I went back and watched some offensive line film the other day and looked at 65, and you may have a point.
Yeah.
You may have a point.
Well, so my final question for the interview for you, Holsum, is I want to hear your thoughts about our projected improvement against the schedule that we have slated next year. Right now, if I had to predict what will be, I'm gonna guess 2 losses. I don't necessarily think we get it done versus North Carolina, but I would love to hear your take on this.
Well, we know 1 loss.
Yeah, right.
One of them. That first game of the season won't even be close.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much they've lost. It's true they have lost a lot, but the programs are just on 2 different stratospheres.
Yeah.
It have us somewhere in between.
It'd be like the 1980 U.S. men's hockey team,
What'd you say?
Yeah.
I just said it would be an epic upset if we win.
Well, that's not happening. So let's just kick that out. Let's not do that to our hearts.
I refuse to do it. So you're in safe
Florida
place here.
again. Like people were saying, oh well, you predicted us to beat Florida, but we can't beat Bama. It's like, bro,
Florida can't beat Bama either.
Those programs are on Florida isn't even sniffing Alabama. Like they're on such another planet right now that it's foolish to do this to your hearts.
Yeah.
It is, and what also hurts is the fact that, and I'm gonna get back to your question, but coaches put a lot of stuff on film, right? But here's the thing: you got to be able to do what that other team did to be successful against them. Ole Miss put it on film how you could have a chance to beat Bama. The only other team that had the personnel to do that exact same thing or close to was Florida. And arguably, they had the best game of the season. Bama, Florida, in the SEC championship game was the best. You had even though both teams gave up yards, you still had really good defense at times. You had good schematics. You had good X's and O's. You had really good coaches. And you had a lot of talent on the football field at the same time. Florida gave Bama its best game. Yeah. So they are closer than you would think, but they were able to replicate what Ole Miss did to them. And this is why I think Coach Shoop is such a big thing, is he will be able to sit and analyze that film and say, Coach, Virginia gave us the formula to have a close game with Clemson. But no, we want to come out and run power I against them to prove a point about how bad we are and how manly we are. We're going to run right at them. When Virginia took these people to a good game because they attacked their sorry corners and safeties and coverage. Okay, when are we going to get out of our own way with certain things? Is why I say Miami will continue to be 3 losses, maybe 4, until we learn to be able to get out our own way with a lot of crap. Okay, check the ego and handle business week to week. Mm-hmm. Last week has nothing to do with this week. Next week has nothing to do with this week. Focus in on what we're going to do to embarrass these people in front of us. We talked about it before when I was on here like 6 months ago. I hate and still hate a win's a win. If you are not dominating, if you are not in the business to dominate, then what are you doing it for? If you're preaching just find a way to win, please get another profession. Go sell cars or iPads for a living. Because just hitting your quota means you get that raise this month. But when you're dealing with the lives of young men who want to play at the next level, when you're dealing with the lives of other coaches, and this is how they feed their family, dominating and winning and embarrassing people is what you are there to do. Not just figure out a way to have one more point than a sorry Virginia Tech team. 5 more points than a horrific UVA team. No. And I'm definitely not slipping and sliding after beating them and twerking in the dang locker room.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Oh, man, we could have ended this on a good note. Then you brought up that childish memory.
Well,
I mean, hey, like I told you, Marsh, I got, unless y'all got another guest, I got a little time on my hands. If you got any more questions to hit me with, I'm willing. I'd love to talk. I'll talk all day long.
Well, okay, so we got to get going, but we always love talking to you, man. So let's do this again next time you're free. How does that sound?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been trying to get in touch. You know, Marsh he's so Hollywood now. He doesn't get his way back up, man. He don't respond to my messages. It's okay.
Hey, also,
the only Hollywood part about me is that I live in actual Hollywood. Other than that, come on, man. Come on.
Hey, we'll get you on again soon, man. I got something that's pushing up against this interview, but I was texting this to Marsh while you were talking, and I mean this in the kindest and best way possible. Is that I feel like I'm at church right now, like receiving my football inspiration from you, because I love the way that you talk about this stuff, man.
I truly appreciate that, man. I hope you don't get too many thumbs down or negative, because the fan base has a love and slightly hate relationship with my approach, because when you're a realist, you don't tell them what they want to hear, and you kind of jabbed in that wound that's been sewed over for the last 30 years and the last 20 years since 2001. And I'm sorry, not sorry. It's a lot of stuff that I'm willing to say that other people aren't, and I'm willing to stand on that. And I just hope that things change. I want the absolute best. I don't want us to lose 3-4 games with this subpar behind schedule. Yep. But I know that until proven otherwise, we're going to lose the 2 best games on our schedule. We're going to have that stupid Miami loss that's always in there. And there's a toss-up of where there's going to be one close game that shouldn't be close. That could be either win or lose. So that's the way I say somewhere 3 to 4.
You're preaching to the choir. You know who you're talking to, man? People ride me all day long on social media because I'm a realist.
They love you, Marsh. They love you.
Because I think that they finally understand that I'm not gonna lie to them about this team. I have to be honest, man. I'm not going to satisfy the needs of fans that grew up in the glory days and expect that every year.
Yes, so. Absolutely. Now, one thing I will say, can you please get off of Cam Harris?
What do you mean?
Can he go through a drill without you jabbing at him? You didn't even respond, so you knew you were in the wrong. You knew it. He's like, I'm not even gonna go at it with this guy today. This man Marsh talking about, is it me or is Knighton going through still bad? You got people.
I agree, Marsh.
Cam Harris's effort because he was going through a drill different from a scat back who's 20 pounds lighter than him. Okay.
Marsh, I agree. You need to let Cam Harris meander through drills No,
Holsum. I understand what you're saying. Cam and Jalen are 2 different backs. I get that now. First glance, I was like, oh, isn't that interesting?
And see, the funny part is you got people thinking that he was jogging through the drill. He's a balance back. He's Mark Ingram. And
then he tweeted about it. He He says, y'all think I'm slow, huh?
Marsh, you have to understand, this is why I'm careful with what I tweet. You have to understand your stage. And when you put out certain narratives, my brother, you gotta be careful because people take what you say and run with it.
I know. I'm starting to realize that, and no, you're right. You're right. So
but I
know.
still love you. I mean everything I say with no disrespect, especially on your platform you're allowing me to be on. I just want people to know when you have YouTube channels, state of the U articles, whatever, we have to be careful. Now, speaking the truth is just speaking the truth. But putting certain narratives out there can really be harmful to young men who are trying to become pros. Remember, we're still talking about young men.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. That's why you're my boy, man. Because you're like because you and I think the same about football, but you're just a lot smarter than me and a lot wiser.
It's been years of study, man. Trust me, I go to facilities every day where I feel like the dumbest dude in the room. But I'm sitting in there with coaches who've been doing it for 2-3 decades before I was even born. So, but thank you all so very much for the opportunity to be here and give my voice out to the people who listen, man. Hopefully y'all don't hate me too much. I'm just a realist about certain things. In D-line, I get really personal, because I hate what I've been watching for the last couple of years, and that's just how it is.
Hey, well, you're on the right show to be a realist, man, and we appreciate you a ton, and thank you so much for coming on, and we'll do this again soon.
We'll have you on again soon, man. Hope everything's
all right,
well.
Much love.
Yeah, thank
much
you.
Love.
All right, that was awesome, man. As always,
I love that guy.
Same, man. And it's you know what I mean? I feel like I said, like I got my spiritual football nutrition just
feels
barely.
good to call out every now and again.
Yeah.
Well, that was good. Yeah, we got to have him on again soon. But I know you are you're pressed for time, so we'll end this episode. We will get to Mount Marshmore next episode. Hopefully we're gonna try and do an episode on Friday after the Curry Brown announcement. But anything else, Jordan?
Nope, that's it, man. Just while I have that's the great thing about having a air quotes platform / podcast is I just wanted to ask you one quick NBA question, Marsh. Indulge me for a moment. Did you know that the center for the Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert, is number 1 all time in NBA history in offensive rating?
I did not.
Isn't that mind blowing?
That is quite interesting.
Yeah, I know. Well, I just had to throw that out there for all the people that think Rudy's not good at offense. You know, and I'm not a guy that thinks that one stat defines an argument, right? So I'm not going to say that he's like the greatest offensive player even in the NBA currently, but yeah, the guy's good.
Yeah.
MVP love, man.
Get that? Yeah, I love how you put that in right at the end.
MVP love. Yeah, I had to. I meant to do it earlier and I forgot. But you know what? This is why I do what I do, is so I can project my, as some people call it, horrible sports takes and just cram it down people's throat unwillingly. So.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much to Holsum. And we will talk to you guys in a couple of days. Until that, go Canes.
Go Canes.
This has been the Fours Up Podcast. Remember to like and leave a comment to help our podcast grow. Follow me on Twitter